What's up, Livebearers? Welcome to Line Tab. My name is Melissa.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're going to be talking about...
Own it.
Which we're talking about accountability.
Yes.
Owning our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Like, do you own to your things?
Some.
Yeah, I'm like, there's things that I'm going to take it to the grave.
Like, look, no.
Like, nah, I'm not admitting to that one.
Nope. That's between me and God.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'll take it to the grave. I said I'm sorry.
Yo tomo cuentas con Dios. Like,
yes,
aquí, I'm like, look, that's look. Me and my personal self.
If you didn't find out, it ain't hurt you.
Exactly. It's okay.
That's so bad. I just said that as it was coming out of my mouth. I was like, that is the worst thing that I could say. No, that's horrible. They're not bad things, but you know.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
we know.
We're talking about accountability in this episode, and it's really owning your stuff. Si hiciste daño, si te hicieron daño, si
if you said something you didn't mean, or you did something that you weren't supposed to do.
Todo eso is like owning it. Saying sorry if you need to say sorry, or quién sabe how you're gonna redeem yourself, pero actually putting in that work. To do stuff. So this is a disclaimer. This is just a light tap into this topic. No vamos a hacer un deep dive Bible study. Ese es tu momento, tu recordatorio to open up your Bibles and do your study on your own. Go on Google. There's different commentaries que puedes usar. The Blue Bible, I think that is what it's called. The Blue Word, algo así, algo con blue. Puedes usar esos resources que break down las definitions de cada palabra si quieres algo más profundo. But this is just a light tap into this topic. So we're going to move on to our Bible verse of the week. And Emily will read it in English and then I will read it in Spanish.
We will be reading from Matthew 12, 36 and 37. And just so y'all know, these are red words in the Bible, which means that these are words that God spoke himself.
Jesus.
Jesus. Yes, sorry. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken.
Empty.
Yes. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned.
Ooh. Okay. Mateo 12, 36 al 37 dice, les aseguro que en el día del juicio final todos tendrán que explicar por qué hablaron para hacerles daño a los demás. Dios juzgará a cada uno de acuerdo con sus palabras. Si dijeron cosas buenas, se salvarán, pero si dijeron cosas malas, serán castigados.
Uf.
I wonder how long my trial is going to be. I just want to know. You know de que dicen que Dios es juez. Y cuando estemos allá es como tipo, I'm guessing courtroom.
¿Cómo dice el último verse?
El último verse en esta traducción dice,
yeah, that's what I want to see.
Dios juzgará a cada uno de acuerdo con sus palabras. Si dijeron cosas buenas se salvarán, pero si dijeron cosas malas serán castigados.
So in this one it says, it's Reina Valera, right? In 1960 it says, por tus palabras serás justificado y por tus palabras serás condenado.
Yeah. So you're either going to be like praised or you're going to get...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Una de las dos. That's what I'm like saying, like, dang. Y por cada palabra, ¿te imaginas? Dude,
I look back and I'm like, dang, I've said so many things.
There is
with or without meaning.
Girl, there's one thing that for sure I can admit to the people in this moment.
Okay.
De que me dice el Oscar, my husband. He says de que a veces, and this is how we treat each other, okay? It's not like such a disrespect. Pero he's like, sos bien hocicona.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, eres bien bayunquita.
Oh, no, I hate that. He knows better than to say that. But he's like, eres bien hocicona, which means, like, you talk a lot. You talk too much sometimes. And it's not, I mean, hello, that's why we have a podcast. No, but like in the sense of like, I can argue with somebody. I can go in. Porque la cosa es de que cuando me hacen las babosadas, yo me las voy guardando. Y me las echo a la bolsa. Y me las echo a la bolsa.
You know, just for like a little rainy day, you know?
Y cuando de repente se estalló todo, I'm like...
I'm ready. Here are all the receipts.
And I go in. And this makes me really wonder. Por todo eso, Mommy Judge? Because...
Be like, was I savvy at this moment? Would have been better if I would have just shut up. Be like, did I really forgive him for that moment? Because if I had forgiven him, would I butt it up again?
Jesus, with all of my heart. I probably meant it in that moment. But ahorita, you know, it's over. Please don't judge me on that. Like, or give me a pass.
Oof.
Poniendo eso en perspective, ¿tú crees que tenés más palabras buenas o tú crees que tenés más palabras malas acumuladas en tu banco de palabras?
Let's see. I gotta think about that one.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's because I feel like I have a good balance. Yeah, I don't think I have too many. Well, it depends. For like, I have different words for myself, and then I have different words for the rest of the world. And for the rest of the world, I'm like, you know.
¿Cuál es?
I have more bad words for the rest of the world than I do to myself.
And when we say bad words, it's not like curse words.
No, not like curse words, but
like hurtful words.
Yeah,
or cosas
yeah.
así.
Yeah,
okay.
Cosas que uno se guarda, ¿verdad?
No, esas son dichas, palabras dichas.
Palabras dichas.
Ajá, no like...
¿Ya pasado?
Whatever. O que vos has, que has dicho. Que tendrán que explicar por lo que hablaron. Para hacerle daño a los demás. Hablaste, like, it actually came out of your mouth.
Okay, look.
Now you thought about it.
I have talked. I have found myself in moments that I have talked. And I have been checked in the same moment. And I'm like, I really wasn't thinking that way. I wasn't talking that way. But that's how it came across. And I apologize. And you have checked me sometimes where I'd be like, that's not, literally, that wasn't what I was, like, meaning by it. But if that's how it came across, I'm like, I am so sorry. Yeah. But, like, I literally had to, like, stop myself because I'm like, I didn't really think about it until you told me, no, this is what it sounded like. And I'm like, oh. So I literally had to, like, stop myself and be like, yeah, I see it now. So, yeah.
I think en mi banco hay dos tipos de banco. Bueno, hay dos tipos de cantidades.
Okay.
I feel like up to 23.
You have a number. I don't have numbers.
24 years old. Mal. Fatal. Okay? Fatal. I was the worst. Bueno, not the worst. Pero like... mal, like,
that was your peak mal.
sí, porque era como que si tú me haces una, yo te voy a hacer dos. Si tú, si tú me decís una, yo tengo 20 like ready to go. You know what I mean? So it's like mal. And then from 25 para acá, que son ya que como unos 7 años. Damn, that doesn't sound like that a long time. Ya que han mejorado. Because it's like I had different positions in church donde I was like, ahora sí me tengo que cuidar lo que digo. Which that helped me. And I know that que like a veces it's like, oh, now you want to be fake because you have some position. Now you want to act different. No, it's not about being fake, but it's about like, ahora sí yo siento una responsabilidad de que gente me mira, que gente me escucha, que like puedo influir en una u otra manera. y necesito ser, like, I need to take accountability of that, of my words, of how I am, of how I conduct myself, of everything like that. Like, I do have to take accountability.
Yeah.
So I've been a lot more careful. Like, that has helped me be more careful as to, like, what I'm saying and how I say it. Porque también es eso. I think in the situations where we have talked, it's maybe not even like what you said, but it was like how you said it.
Which I have had a lot of people tell me. But it's like, it's because, okay, sometimes I be talking faster than my mind processes things.
Yes.
And
foot in mouth. You.
Which is crazy because, like, I find myself in situations where I'm just like, no, like, I think before I talk, and I'm like, I me callo and I listen to the person, and then other moments I'm like running my mouth before I even like finish my thought process. And that's when I get in trouble. Yeah. And I know it.
And I admit it.
Hey, at least I'm working on it.
Okay,
you know?
It's
called progress.
It's called growth. It's called accountability. It's called, okay. So, las dos, ¿verdad? Las dos. Y ustedes también que nos están viendo. We know that you have the same issue too. We're in this together. It's okay.
Yes.
So, so how do we take accountability?
Yeah.
What do we do next? Metimos la pata.
Yeah.
¿Qué vamos a hacer ahora?
Your actions gotta change. Your words gotta change. Like,
Do
you
you
can't
say
just
sorry right away?
You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna change," and then your vocabulary, your actions, your thought process doesn't change. That doesn't correlate. It doesn't go. If you say, like, okay, like, big example, right? Let's say, like, I'm constantly drinking. I'm an alcoholic. I'm not, you guys, but like, let's say, right? Let's do an example, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go to rehab. I'm gonna go to AA meetings, and I'm gonna get my chip. And then I say I'm gonna do all that, and I go to one meeting. I'm like, well, I tried. I did. I said I did. I said right. I would do what I would do, and I did it. But that doesn't mean you took accountability, because you fell back into what you said that you weren't gonna fall into.
Especially cuando fue tan rápido.
And even worse, when, like, it doesn't even only affect yourself, it affects other people.
Yeah.
That's even worse, because now you don't only have to take an accountability for, like, hurting yourself. Now you take accountability for hurting other people.
Yeah, y es lo que la palabra dice. La palabra
exactly.
dice, no dice, like, en el juicio final todos tendrán que explicar de qué hablaron como hacia sí mismo o just in general, pero dice para hacerle daño a los demás.
Exactly. So it's like, not only do you have to take an account for yourself, but like accountability for, like, your words and your actions hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think that it doesn't, you're very
wrong.
mistaken. Yeah. And, like, there's only so much healing you can do on your own or for yourself or by yourself when, like, you haven't done it with somebody else.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the biggest thing, right? Like, that if there's one thing that, you know, that people, you know, you see it a lot on movies, or, like, people that have talks, especially, like, people on podcasts, they talk, like, you know, people that go to AA meetings, one of the processes that they use, especially, like, people that go to anger management, is, like, they go through a 12-step process where you have to take accountability for your actions. Ask for forgiveness.
Yes, es la primera,
all
como
these
la
things.
first session. Es como que, hi, my name is
Melissa.
My name is Melissa, and I suffer from this. Y es como que, like,
you're taking accountability for yourself.
The first step.
That's the very first thing that they ask you to do.
Admitting to what you did wrong.
Because
taking
if you can't
accountability
admit, then how do you expect to move forward?
Yeah. If you can't see that you did something wrong, how do you move forward?
Exactly.
How do you know what is going to be your next step? How do you know that if you're going to say sorry or not? Are you a big I'm sorry person? Like, are you quick to say I'm sorry? Or are you more like, I don't know.
I'm quick to say sorry, but I'm not as quick to I'm quick to say sorry. I'm not as quick to forgive.
Okay.
Yeah, I do forgive. It takes me a hot minute, but it takes me a long time to forgive for things that should be easy to forgive, and for things that should be, like, kind of harder to forgive. I'm more easy to forgive, if that makes any sense, which is not the best thing, like, at all. But, you know, I'm saying all these things, but I'm also like, you know, I gotta have some grace for myself. Like, I definitely see a change in myself from what I used to be, like, literally not even like a year or two ago. Yeah. You know? But, you know, it's definitely something that I have in the back of my mind, where I'm like, oh, estoy consciente de esto. Like, I gotta work on it. Yeah. But no, I do think that, like, that's one of the main things that, like, I have to, well, I've worked on. I do think that, you know, you never stop working on things, especially on yourself. But no, that's one thing that I do feel like I am quick to forgive. I'm not quick to forget. I don't think you really can forget, but at least you can forget to the point that, like, it doesn't affect your day-to-day life. You know what I mean?
I am not as quick to ask for forgiveness. I'll do it. Si yo sé que la regué porque la regué, like, bien regada, I'll probably realize it sooner than later, and I'll have to say I'm sorry. I'll be like, no, you know what? Ahí sí me pasé de la raya. Like, all right, I'm sorry. Pero hay varios momentos that I struggle with that I justify myself in being mean because somebody did something to me first.
And that's what I do all the time.
And so I'm like, well, you just got a reaction to your action. And it's like, that's not how it really works.
You know how hard that is for me, especially when it comes to, like, anger.
Que salen de tu boca, like, para hacer daño a los demás. It doesn't say si te hicieron algo malo, si no te hicieron algo malo. It doesn't.
There's no excuse for it.
There's no fine print to it. Nope. There's no loopholes to it. Es de todo lo que dijiste. And so that takes a little bit for me. Donde I'm like, I'll be like, why are you mad? And then they're like, okay. And by they, I mean Oscar. And then Oscar's like, well, you said this and this was really messed up. And I'm like, and then I have to think about it. And then I have to, like, put myself in his shoes. And I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. Like, okay, I messed up. And then it's so hard to be like, pero es que tú. It's so hard to do that. And so, I mean, sometimes I'm human. Hello. I have blood running through these veins. Sometimes I do it. I'm like, well, es que tú, blah, 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 and you made me feel like this, so I said this, and then there's other times where I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I messed up, and I'm sorry, and let's move forward. I'm sorry. Would you forgive me?
See, when I put myself in your shoes, right? Like, I don't have anything to compare that to, like, relationship-wise, but I think about my family, and I'm always like, It takes me a hot minute to be like, nah, you better speak up before I do, because if I do, it's not gonna be pretty. And I know it, and it's a big thing that I have. And most of the time, if I do, like, if I'm the one to come up and be like, yeah, I messed up, I'm sorry, before I do, like you said, no, yo te las voy a sacar todas. And I know that's not a good thing, but I just can't help it. I'm just like, it's because you did this and you said this and, like, you hurt my feelings. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, tú también te pasas. And I'm just like,
exactly. So then is it a real apology?
I came to say sorry. I didn't come to, like, sacar trapos.
You. Exactly. So then again, like, si dices, I'm sorry, but is it a real apology? Are you really taking accountability for what you did? Yeah. Or are you excusing your actions?
Yeah, because the sorry shouldn't have a but, you know? Because then if you add a but, it's an excuse. A real apology doesn't need a but. A real apology should just be like, hey, that was messed up of me. I am so sorry. These are the steps that I will take to not repeat my mistake. And I'm going to make sure that next time I hear you out, so I don't pop off. You know? You see that? There's steps to an apology. Yeah. A real sincere apology, one, doesn't have a but. And 2, doesn't have an excuse. And 3, doesn't have a, like, it needs an explanation. Yeah. To me, I'm sorry, but, like, a sorry, it needs an explanation. You can't just be like, hey, I'm so sorry I said that. Yeah. That's it. Like, no. That's me personally. But, you know, I have heard other people that say the same thing. They're like, no, you can't just say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what? And I tell not my kids, but, like, I say they're my kids, but, like, the kids that I nanny, right? I tell them the same thing all the time. I'm like, you're sorry for what you're sorry for. You're sorry for yelling. You're sorry for hitting. You're sorry for biting. You what? I don't know what you're talking about. You know. No, I don't know. You got to spell it out for me.
Empty words. It's nothing like no tiene nada like in there.
There's no substance to it.
Exactly. There you go. It's literally no tiene nada. So entonces, don't even say it. So what has helped you in this accountability journey? Que we're currently on. No hemos perfeccionado. Todavía as you can see, nos cuesta trabajo.
Seriously.
But what are some things or some people that have helped you really take accountability, or like what resources?
You know who has been like a big accountability person for me? And it's like kind of a shocker, right? My brother.
Okay.
Like he will call me out on my
on your crap.
On my crap, yeah. He will. And obviously,
good job, David.
And obviously I do to him as well. It's not easy for us to hear it from each other, but honestly it's way easier to hear from each other than it is from our parents.
or from some random person.
Yeah.
Because tú sabes que tu brother is always gonna want the best for you.
Exactly.
Y que no te quiere ver jodida o no te, no te quiere ver ahí toda messed up porque somebody else says something to you, like checks you in a different way.
Yeah. So I have had moments where he will call me out and sometimes we're just not available to each other, but best believe he will text me and he will call me and he will pop off in like a huge paragraph and I'm just like,
who's the oldest here?
I'm like, respect your elders. No, I'll like I will like vent to him and I'll go off on him, even though obviously he's not the source, like he's not who I'm venting about, but I'll go off on him and he'll check me real quick and he's just like, but you ain't perfect either and you messed up here too, and this is what she did this wrong, but you also did this wrong, and you as a good Christian, that ain't what you're supposed to do. Is it? And I'm just like, why are you calling me out right now, dude? Like, dang.
You're supposed to have my back.
Exactly. I'm like, you're supposed to have my back. Why are you over here going off on me? What did I do to you? He's like, it's not about what you did to me. It's about what you did to the other person.
Yeah.
And you need to watch your language.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ooh.
Y porque no te representas solamente a ti misma, sino estás representando a Cristo.
Yeah. So, and then, vice versa. I'm there to check him as well whenever he needs it. But for me, he has been like a big help, Yeah. To me, he's always going to be my little brother. He's always going to be, he hates it, but I call him Menino. And I'm always like, no, that's my little kid, and we've heard this from me a lot. But I'm like, okay, like you growing up, you kind of smart now. So let me hear you out. Like you've won my respect in that aspect. Yeah. I can hear you out. Yeah. Aparte de him, like definitely like my parents have been like a big thing when it comes to accountability. And you too as well. You definitely check me. You don't sugarcoat nothing. But I have also told you, and you have asked me for a couple years now, like, do you want me to sugarcoat it? Now you kind of already know which way you should go, depending on the situation. I don't think you have sugarcoated anything recently.
Recently.
Yeah, not unless like you see me like toda tontita, maybe you'll sugarcoat it, and then like a week later, then you'll be like, nah, here's the truth.
This is how I really feel.
Exactly.
I can't keep it in anymore.
Which regardless, I have told you, whether you feel like I need to sugarcoat it or not, I would rather you just not. Yeah, and you do come through.
Pero they're watching me. Jesus is watching me.
Because I'm like, at the end of the day, and I told you this, whether you think I listen to you or not, I do. It just takes a minute for me to like sit on it, savor it, and like really process it, for me to be like, okay, I get you.
Years later.
But did I get there though? I did. It just took a hot minute, but I got there,
A hot minute and a hot, like... just hits in the face. And I was like, the only word that I could think of was not the greatest. A resource for me, honestly, it has been, I know de que hablamos de que redes sociales a veces son como que bad and distractions and cosas like that.
I think it's an arma de doble filo. It can be good and it can be bad.
Honestly.
Depends on how you use it.
Yeah, and para mí ha sido both. Pero in this aspect of like recognizing when I do wrong, whether it is in my marriage or as a mom or even as a daughter, it's like TikTok videos from therapists. Me sale bastante my For You page. Thank you, TikTok. Me salen bastantes therapists hablando de cosas así como taking accountability. I have my own therapist that I also talk to about things that I do, and I admit to her things, because that's the whole point of having a therapist, right? Que te ayude a crecer. And so then she has really helped me of like taking in accountabilities of my actions towards my people. Podcasts, listening to podcasts about like other people within our circle, which is, you know, people that walk with Christ, también of how they take accountability for actions that they have done, que son quizás bastante malas y que cuestan como que redeem themselves. So yeah, those are the main. Honestly, going to church, I think going to church on Sundays, like it hits a big reset in my life, to where I remember, es como que like yo sé que tenemos que vivir, we don't just have to depend on a Sunday service, pero it really pushes a reset in me to be like, dang, okay, I messed up.
And that's the thing, right? That like there's only so much accountability you can do within yourself when you don't have somebody to keep you accountable. Yeah. You know, because if you just, okay, like example, you know, if you're constantly in your own headspace, you don't get somebody else's point of view, you don't talk to somebody else that may have a polarizing view that does not like agree with what you think or whatever, you're never gonna see that other side, that other perspective, you know. And you're not gonna have that open view of things or that open mentality to be like, oh, I see why you would think that way, maybe it's not the way that I think, but I can at least understand and appreciate why your brain works the way that it does, even though mine doesn't, which really does help in order for you to like sympathize with the other person and to hold yourself accountable. Because if you don't even realize what you did was wrong or that you hurt the other person, then how can you hold yourself accountable?
Like,
you can't.
No sabes cómo qué hacer next to make it better. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on, since you were talking about brother and giving advice to each other. Let's go on. Yo prendo el teléfono como que si yo tengo la story. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to our Reddit story of the week.
Okay. This one says, am I the a-hole for making my stepbrother tell his middle school girlfriend he was being disloyal? I wanted to teach him accountability, but my stepmom is mad. Infidelity is a touchy subject in this household. These are middle school kids.
Hey.
But I get what he's trying to say. You gotta be loyal.
You gotta teach them young.
Yeah.
You can't expect kids to like do whatever and then ya cuando están viejos les quieres corregir.
I'm just thinking like obviously I haven't read the story, but I'm just thinking about like, you know, nowadays this generation there ain't no like middle school lollipop or like a little teddy bear chocolates. No. Ahora es de fiesta.
Aquí es otro nivel.
Like I'm like, that's why I'm like, if I think back to middle school, I'm like, oh, like gay. She invited some other girl to a party and didn't take his girlfriend. Like, okay, I get it. But like if he's dating two different girls, it's different. But again, we don't know the circumstances, right? But yeah,
let's go.
So what do you think?
I don't think so. I think again, you gotta teach them young.
Okay.
The younger that you teach them, the better.
The better. Okay.
Especially when infidelity is a touchy subject in the family, that means that algo ya pasó.
Yeah.
So of course you want to teach them young.
Okay.
All right.
So this one says, correction to clarify. The school the kids are in is center school, not middle school. I don't know the difference. My town uses it to mean the years intermediately before middle school. Oh, like we call it intermediate. We call it intermediate here too. Yeah, I was like one of my friends that instead of going straight from elementary to middle, I went to intermediate.
For what grade?
It was right before 7 and 8, so 5 and 6. So I had a school just for 5 and 6. So I went from elementary, kindergarten all the way to 4th, and then 5 and 6 was intermediary, and then 7 to 8 was middle, and then 9 all the way through 12 for high school.
Okay.
Yeah, people were like, what is that? You didn't go straight to middle school? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
I am 20 and I have a stepbrother, Ethan, who is 8. He has a girlfriend, Cindy, if you can call their relationship that. They're so young, and dating to them just means hanging out at recess and writing cute notes in school.
That's so cute.
My dad married Ethan's mom. The two of them are really busy and have me babysit Ethan often. I swear I've probably done more raising of this kid than anyone recently. So she spends a lot of time with him, basically. Yeah.
Because the parents are busy.
Yeah. Anyway, he told me that he has a second girlfriend now. I asked him what her name is and how they met. He said Jess. He met her at after-school activities. I asked what Cindy thinks of her. He said he didn't tell her. I asked how he thinks the girl would feel if they knew he had 2 girlfriends, and he seemed to dodge the question. So it's already like, oh, I already feel kind of like dodgy, you know? Like, why? If you don't think it's wrong, why you feel dodgy?
8-year-old.
I talked to him about how you need to be honest in your relationships, or it will make people very sad and betrayed feeling when the dishonesty comes out. This is a topic I feel strongly about. My dad cheated on my mom with Ethan's mom. My own mom is no longer with us. It was a really difficult time in my life. It still hurts, and it's important to me that I have more integrity and expect more integrity in my relationships and friends. I want to bring my stepbrother up with honesty and integrity too. So Ethan actually talked to both of the girls. First, Jess. She told him she didn't really want a boyfriend anyway. She just wanted to play and forget it. Then he talked to Cindy, and they apparently made up, and she wanted to keep being his girlfriend and best friend.
Ay, Cindy, ya vas muy mal.
And if he could promise they'd be each other's best friends no matter what. We had a long talk after this. I asked how he was feeling, and he said he was feeling happy that he'd been honest. He was feeling really guilty after our first talk. He didn't like how it felt to be lying, even though it has seemed fun at first. I told them about how proud I was of him, how he was learning to do difficult stuff and be a good, honest, kind man, something that some people do not learn until they are much older.
¿Ves?
Some people never learn how to at all, and he done a very grown-up, difficult, and kind thing. I thought I was well. Then a few weeks passed, and suddenly Ethan's mom was furious at me. She had found out about what I'd asked Ethan to do, and I'd overstepped. I'm a babysitter, and I was trying to discipline him and teach him like a parent. I lost my temper at her and said that I've been the closest thing to a parent that he had for a year, and that the lesson I was trying to teach him is something every child ought to learn before they grow up, lest they engage in infidelity and tear a family apart. She said that I was not welcome in her home if I spoke to her like that. Am I the a-hole?
Absolutely not. How is she gonna be a jerk of like just giving some regular advice to her brother?
Yeah.
Like, su brother vino y le confió a ella. Regardless if it's stepsister, regardless if it's like full mom, dad, sister.
Yeah.
Like, no importó. Él fue donde ella and trusted her and with this information that at 8 years old, a lot of kids don't want to go to anyone actually.
Exactly.
And let them know, hey, I have a girlfriend or whatever. And so...
But he had that confidence to tell her. And not only tell her, hey, I have a girlfriend. Because he had the little espinita, you know, where he was just like, oh, I don't know if this is right. But I'm going to tell you anyways. And like when she asked him, hey, so what does your current girlfriend know? He was quiet. Because he knew, he had that feeling. He was like, I don't know if this is right, but I think it's fine.
El remordimiento es su heart. And so for the mom to say that is so messed up. It's just, again, cizañosos, no, sinvergüenzas, trying to raise other sinvergüenzas.
Yeah, I think it was more of like the mother feeling guilty, knowing that like she was in that position and she knew that she messed up because she broke up a family.
I wonder what kind of advice she would have given the kid.
Yeah, because if she would have told him, hey, this is not right, then be like, so what you did with my daddy is wrong then?
Exactly, because deja tú. Okay, tú lo hiciste, bueno, ya lo hiciste, right? Ya pecaste, ya hiciste, whatever. Pero have you even apologized to the daughter? Porque la mujer, la mujer ya pues ya se murió. Pero la hija todavía está ahí.
Exactly.
And from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like she has repented of what she has done. So I wonder what kind of advice she would have given her son.
Exactly. And then it sucks because, you know, I get it. Parents work and everything. But, you know, to the point that like the stepdaughter is like, I have been basically raising this kid for a year now because they're never around. I'm always like babysitter. Like no, like this is my stepbrother. Like I am there for him, and clearly he trusts me enough to talk to me. Like you're not about to demote me to just a babysitter. I'm part of the family, and for you to do that is like, not only are you telling me I can't come back to your house, you're making me lose that relationship that I have with him.
Exactly.
Because he didn't come and tell you. He didn't come and tell his dad, my dad. He came and told me.
Exactly.
So now I think that she's dealing with her own insecurities, being the other woman, that she was just like, I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. So I'd rather you just not tell him. I bet you she was anything. I bet you anything. She was just like, oh, they're kids. ¿Qué saber de andar like cheating and everything?
Girlfriends. Go have fun.
¿Cómo que qué vas a saber? That's why you need to tell him.
Aquí es donde aprenden, no cuando ya están viejos que están haciendo babosada y media.
So somebody said, not the a-hole, she called you a babysitter when you're her husband's daughter. Not to mention she was also in an affair, might be her kid, but she's not teaching him the right thing to do. If his mom is absentee in teaching him basic human fundamentals, then you have a right to intervene, especially because he is your brother. However, if you weren't his sister, I would have gone with everyone sucks here. And OP responded and said, I am being paid to babysit my stepbrother by her and my father. So that's where she got that from, I suppose. But I was trying to teach him lessons as a big sister, not a babysitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Porque ella tiene morals and all of that versus esa señora.
I would understand if the stepmother was like mad, if she was like telling her, hey, like your mom cheated with my dad and broke up my family. So do you want to be like your mom? Do you want to be a cheater? She didn't say any of that. She didn't even bring up her stepmom.
Exactly.
She was just like, hey, have you talked to your girlfriend? How does that make her feel? She wasn't like going off on him like, you're such a bad person. No, she was actually making him like realize, hey, like my person has feelings too. Like it's not just me having fun, but like what does my other person think about it? And I think she did great. The fact that like he went over and talked to his second girlfriend was like the little girl was like, no, I'm cool if we just have friends. I'm just having fun. Like she was just like, I'm not even your girlfriend, dude. Exactly. Like we're just having fun.
Like, girlfriend means that I'm a girl and I'm your friend.
Exactly. And the other girl was just like, well, I'm good with just being your best friend. If anything happens, you gotta promise me we're gonna be best friends. But I'm okay with dating you right now. So like it was a win-win situation. But because I'm pretty sure, like I said, the mother was feeling some type of way, she was just like, nah, you're putting me in a bad light. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our favorite song of the week, and mine is Jesucristo Basta by Samu Robles, and I found this guy on TikTok. As you can see, TikTok is a good resource. And so yeah, this is my favorite song. It's called Jesucristo Basta by Samu Robles, which I found on TikTok. So there you go, another one for the TikTok resource. Jesucristo Basta. Jesucristo Basta.
Eres lo que necesita todo corazón, no solo 1%. Yo quiero todo tu amor. Es que esto puedo tener un terreno en la luna y aquí vacío. Okay, and so I like it because obviously Jesucristo Basta. I mean, anyone and everyone can say that they're going to be with you to the very end, till, como dice, till death do us part. Yeah. Puras mentiras. But one who is going to be there forever and ever and ever and ever is going to be Jesus, and him alone basta. Like si lo tenés a él, literal. I know that it sounds kind of weird, and sí, if you're alone, quizás sientes como un poquito de soledad o lo que sea, and you're like, no, but I need somebody. No, but honestly, Jesucristo, if you have him, you have everything. Yeah.
Okay, mine is called Imperfecto. By Gabriel
like,
EMC.
¿Y esas campanitas? I like Gabriel EMC. Okay.
It's a vibe.
It is.
Okay, let me start because I won't let it play. Yeah, so this one is really similar to the last one that we played for our last podcast. And it's again, it deals with that feeling of inadequacy where I'm just like, I'm not perfect. Like, I am very imperfect. I make mistakes. I'm only human. Like you said, like, I have blood running through my veins. So, like, I may think, like, oh, 1 minute I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm never going to do that again. And here I come and I do the same thing again. It's like, never learn.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, I'm not perfect. But yet, even though in my imperfections, God still shows up. He still loves me. He's still there, you know. And I love that song for that reason. And it's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe. That beginning part was really chill and calm, and then the rest of the song is like, oh yes, it's definitely a vibe. So yeah, that was my favorite song.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Honestly, people, take accountability for your actions. If you feel in this moment that you've hurt somebody by your words, by your actions, take this moment to really, like, sea un recordatorio para tu vida de que you have to take accountability, de que even though tú piensas que estás haciendo las cosas en secreto o lo que sea, like, there's somebody who's watching you. Y va a haber juicio acerca de eso.
And he's gonna come up to you. Well, you're gonna come up to him. And then he's gonna be like, so what's up?
Yep.
What happened?
What's up?
You care to explain?
Yes.
I'm all ears.
Yep. And so es mejor de que tú tomes esa accountability for yourself versus somebody else making you take accountability for that. And we know it's hard, but
just gotta be done.
Gotta be done. You gotta do it. Anything else that you want to leave the people with?
No, I think that's it.
All right. That is it for today's episode. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.